Hello and a very good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's market update. My name is Edmund, and today is a Thursday, 6th of August 2020. So, yesterday, gold prices touched a record high of 2,055 US dollars before having a retracement, and currently it is in a consolidation phase. So, it is trading at 2,038 US dollars, down about 18 US dollars from yesterday's high. Okay, so again, it's been a very exciting week in terms of volatility on the markets and also very good trading opportunities. And of course, yesterday we saw the US dollar index, in other words, the US dollar weakening back to the support levels of 92.50. Okay, so let us have a quick look and see on today's economic calendar before we focus back on the technical charts. Okay, so for Thursday, 6th of August 2020, we will be having some major economic data or events happening. First of all, it is from the UK, where the Bank of England is scheduled to release the monetary policy report and also the official bank rate at 2 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time today. Okay, so watch out for this announcement at 2 p.m. It should be having some impacts on the UK pound and also on the euro dollar. Okay, so moving towards the afternoon session at 4 p.m., we will be having Italy's monthly industrial production numbers, and towards 4:30 p.m., we will be having the UK's construction PMI data. At 7:30 p.m., Bank of England Governor Mr. Andrew Bailey will be speaking at 7:30, and towards the evening session from the US, we will be having unemployment claims data at 8:30 p.m. So basically, for the unemployment claims numbers, markets are expecting the numbers to come in at 1.41 million Americans seeking for social benefits. So if the numbers come in below 1.4 million, theoretically it's positive for the US dollar. FOMC member Mr. Robert Kaplan will be speaking at 10 p.m. And finally, we will be having the natural gas storage numbers at 10:30 p.m. Okay, so again, yesterday we saw the US dollar weakening, moving down back to the support levels of 92.50 as there was a delay in getting the approvals for further stimulus in the US. And also, again, yesterday we saw a lot of the purchasing managers index, in particular the services PMI numbers from the UK, Europe, and also the US. Although they came in, how to say, a tad below market expectations, it was still better than the 50.0 reading, which was critical, as a reading above 50.0 would represent an expansion in terms of services activities. Okay, so for yesterday, again, this is the economy data coming out for yesterday. So imagine that if you were watching the market yesterday and preparing to trade, most of the data that was released, first of all, yes, it came in red in color because it was below market expectations. For example, the Spanish services PMI coming in at 51.9, below market expectations of 52.3. However, the reading of 51.9 was way better than the previous month's reading of 50.2. And also, again, any reading above 50.0 would be representing an expansion or an increase in the services activities. Okay, so although most of it was red, it was again better, mostly better than the 50.0 reading. And that is one of the reasons why we do see the euro and also the UK pound managing to maintain its bullish sentiment. Okay, so yesterday, another major data was the ADP non-farm employment change coming out from the US. This was a major disappointment as markets expected 1.2 million jobs being created. However, only 167,000 jobs were being created. Thus, it was way below market expectations. And the US dollar actually continued to weaken, not only due to that, economic result, but the US dollar was also weakening ever since Tuesday. Okay, after there was some delay in the approval of extra stimulus in the United States, and also partly due to the major explosion in Beirut, Lebanon. So this pushed down the US dollar, weakening down. And also another point to note is that aside from economic factors and events which happened over the last 2 days, the US dollar was actually previously was on a bearish mode, bearish trend all the way from 30th of 30th of June over here, all the way to 30th of June. And last Friday, it managed to find some support. However, it was not immediately a reversal of the bearish trend. Currently, it was just last Friday onwards, it was just a mild retracement, and it was still in a consolidation phase. Okay, so the major trend was mostly bearish. That's why we cautioned that 2 days ago that it is not an immediate reversal of the bearish trend. There's a high chance that it will trade sideways or trade in the range or consolidation phase first before deciding whether to go up or down further. Okay, so of course currently yesterday it found support over here after coming down from 900 hours. 9 plus 5 is 14. This is 2 p.m. again, local Singapore and Malaysia time, dropping down all the way to support levels of 92.54, which was drawn on the previous support way back on the 31st of July. Okay, so 31st of July was just last Friday. Okay, again last Friday, the US dollar managed to find some support. Okay, so currently we are looking at the double bottom. Okay, so there could be a chance that it could go up, but you have to be cautious also, as before you take a buy or sell trade on the markets, you want to be making sure that the volumes and the momentum is pushing the prices in the way you want it to. Okay, so although that looks like a double bottom being formed, you still need to be cautious. And on the larger hour 4 H4 charts is also looking like it's forming a double bottom. So we will have a look and see later towards the UK trading session and also the US trading session tonight to see what chart patterns form and where will the US dollar go, whether will it strengthen or weaken. Okay, so the immediate resistance for the US dollar would be at the very near levels of 92.84. It's just like 8 points away. And of course, the next levels we are looking at, if it does manage to have a bullish trend, is towards 93.18 levels. Okay, so these are the short-term upsides for the US dollar. And of course, to the downside, we are looking at a support level of 92.53. And if it does break this 92.53 levels, I am looking for it to go towards 92.40 to form another, possibly just a spike down and touching 92.4 before possibly having a rebound. Okay, so again, but the main effect for the US dollar pushing down was the continuation of the bearish move started on Tuesday evening. Okay, so for yesterday, we still do see the UK pound rising against the US dollar, as very obviously the US dollar was still weakening. So we do see the UK pound strengthening as early as 2 plus 5, 7 a.m. 1.3064 all the way to a high of 1.3159. Okay, so if you notice, this move up was also finding some resistance at the previous high recently. Okay, so it couldn't get past 1.3159, and then after it pulled back down another 50 pips. Okay, so similar story goes for the euro dollar. This is the euro dollar. So the euro dollar was continuing its bullish move from Tuesday evening, and for yesterday on Wednesday it moved up at 7 a.m. and then again at 2 p.m. and during the US trading session it moved up again at 7 p.m. Okay, so very nicely done. Throughout the whole day, the euro dollar moved up a total of about 105 pips. Okay, so moving on to gold prices. Gold prices also continue its bullish run ever since it broke through the resistance of 1,978 on Tuesday evening. So for yesterday, there was a mild pullback in the morning Asian trading session of 22 US dollars. However, the bullish trend continued after that at about 12 p.m. onwards. It's a bit early. We started to move up from 2011 US dollars and touching a high of 2055 US dollars. This was during 1700 hours. 17 plus 5 is 22, which is 10 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. Okay, so of course, ever since touching the high, it also pulled back about 26 US dollars, and currently it is actually pushing into a short-term triangle. Okay, so again, towards the UK and US trading sessions, we expect gold prices to break out from this short-term triangle to either touch resistance again. Short-term resistance would be at 2050 US dollars, and of course the higher, I wouldn't say longer term, the next target point would be 2055 US dollars again. Okay, if it moves to the downside, in the short term, we are looking at 2031 US dollars, which is about $7 to the downside. And if it does break this, we are looking for further support levels of 2020 US dollars, okay, which is about $18 to the downside. Okay, moving on to silver prices. Silver has been moving up also yesterday. We can see that it is mirroring the movements of gold, where it moved down during the Asian trading session, and then after during the UK trading session yesterday, and also the US trading session going up and then consolidating. Okay, so silver prices are now pretty quiet. And quick look at oil prices. Oil prices spiked up yesterday as early as 900 hours. 9 plus 5 is 14. 2 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, moving up from $41.67 all the way to a high of $43.51. Okay, so yesterday's crude oil inventories data, markets was expecting a negative 3.4 million drawdown on crude oil inventories. However, the drawdown was even larger than 3.4 million, coming in at negative 7.4 million, meaning that inventories or stocks of crude oil is even less than expected. Okay, so in other words, less supply, more demand. Theoretically, it should be pushing up the prices, which it did. Okay, which it did as early as 2 p.m. until 7 p.m. However, if you notice, the data was announced at 10:30 p.m. and crude oil prices already started to move up as early as 2 p.m. all the way until 7 p.m. And as the data was announced at 10:30, a larger drawdown in crude oil supplies. Theoretically, at 10:30 p.m., crude oil prices should be going higher because the supply is much less than expected. Okay. However, at 10:30 p.m., we do not see the crude oil prices going up further. Instead, it came back down. Okay, came back down from 43.47 all the way to 42.14, coming down $1.30. Okay, the message here is that don't blindly trade according to results or data. Because that is usually how a retail trader would trade. Try to avoid that. Okay, so so that was the movement on prices of crude oil prices. And a quick look at S&P 500. S&P 500 is still very much in a very stable and very bullish mode, going up, consolidating, going up, and then consolidating. However, of course, I'm expecting things could change up a little bit, either tonight or tomorrow. As tonight we are having some unemployment claims data. If not, it will be tomorrow where we will be having the non-farm payrolls data. Okay, so that about wraps up today's market update. So if you follow the movements and behavior of the US dollar, you will largely be able to predict or forecast the movements of the UK pound, the euro dollar, and of course, analyzing gold prices. You have to also keep an eye on the technicals and also the fundamental factors. Okay, so I hope you guys have a good trading day ahead, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you for listening in. See you and take care.